OBS has got a new tank called the Ace. We're checking it out. What's up, Vape fam? It's Dave, back with you from Married to the Mod. Today we're checking out the Ace tank from OBS. This is a ceramic coil sub-ohm tank, and I haven't used ceramic before. This is going to be my first tank with ceramic, and the flavor is outstanding. You get that crisp, clean flavor that you're supposed to get, I guess, with e-liquid. Right now I'm vaping on some Ethos Crispy Treats, which is basically a Rice Krispie treat, and I'm tasting every single note. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm tasting similar notes when I use a coil and cotton or an RDA that I've built, but it just seems like with ceramic you're getting that extra crispness to it. That's kind of the best way that I can describe it. And if you haven't used ceramic, I gotta say, get yourself a ceramic coil tank because it is delicious. Alright, so anyways, about this tank. This is the Ace tank. We're going to dive down low and I'm going to show you all about it. But before I do, from the base to the top here is going to be 63.9 millimeters. It's a 22 millimeter tank, and it's going to hold 4.5 milliliters of juice. Now, I did receive this tank from wetvapes.com for the purpose of this review. And, you know, there's a few things about this tank that leads me to believe it's a flavor tank. Mainly because it's ceramic, right? But then there's a few things that lead me to believe that it's not a flavor tank, being that it has this top airflow that isn't the top airflow that you're going to get on something like the Gemini. It doesn't go in and down to hit your coil. This is just straight top airflow that's going to be dug into the chimney there and straight up to your mouth. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dive down low. I'm going to take this tank all apart. There's also an RBA section which I'm going to show you. So yeah, let's catch a vape and I'll see you down there. Alright guys, we're back with you with the OBS Ace tank, and this is the packaging it comes in. Also, you can get it in white, stainless steel, or black, as you can see there. This one here is the stainless steel one. This is also the RBA and ceramic coil the 0.85 ceramic coil. They listed it as ICC. You can also get a 0.6 ceramic coil. Opening up the package here, you're going to get a manual first off. That is a nice detailed manual. You can go ahead and read through it if you do decide to get this. But it's going to tell you everything about it. It is made of 304 stainless steel. On the back here, it's going to show you how to go ahead and prime the coil. It does say to prime the ceramic coil there. You're also going to have the RBA deck in here. So it's going to tell you exactly how to go ahead and build the deck. You'll get a spare glass. You'll receive an Allen key screwdriver. That Allen key screwdriver is for your RBA section, as you can see here, which we will talk about more in a minute. And then underneath here, you are going to receive some clapped-in coils, some spare O-rings, and a couple extra grub screws, and also some cotton. And then your tank itself. Let you take a look at it real quick. It's going to say OBS on one side. The other side is going to say Ace. And that's etched in there pretty deep. Now from top to bottom, you are going to have a stainless steel drip tip that is removable. You do have top airflow on this. As you can see, the 3 holes there, and there is the same on the other side, so there is 6 holes total. What you do on one side will happen to the other side the same way. And there's no stopper on this top airflow. Working our way down, you can see, sorry about the leftover water in there from cleaning it. You're going to have some nice little etchings in here, just for design. And then your airflow. Now there is a stopper on this airflow. That's all the way open. That's all the way closed. And what you do on one side does happen on the other side. I'd say those airflow holes are probably about 13 millimeters long or so. And there is also juice flow control on this. There's 4 separate holes in there for juice flow control. Look to be about, I'm going to say 4 millimeters in diameter. Now, to open and close those, you just turn the airflow control. When it hits the stopper, you continue turning it and it will turn it on. And what happens on one happens on all of them. Then on the bottom here, it's going to say designed by OBS, ACE, and it has a gold-plated non-adjustable 510 pin. So this tank will come completely apart. You take your drip tip out, and there's this little piece right up here on top that you go ahead and unscrew. This is going to come out, and I guess this is for spit back, which I'll tell you, I haven't had any problem with spit back with this tank. Your top airflow will come off like that, and as you can see, there's slits right here that your airflow goes through. Now that's going to show you that this airflow does not go down and hit the coil, but goes right through into the chimney and into your mouth. It does not go down at all. That, in my opinion, is a big flavor killer. Now, when you're talking about a tank here that has ceramic and that is basically for flavor, I don't understand why you would put a top airflow onto it. To fill this tank, same as the Creus, and normally it wouldn't come right off, but since I am showing you how to take it apart, it does lift up, and you are going to have a nice size fill hole right there. You can get pretty much any kind of dropper in there. The only dropper I've had a problem with are going to be these right here, because they do not fit in there. You kind of have to hold it up and kind of drop your liquid in there. But seeing how it is wide enough, it does let the air out the opposite side as you are filling it. Now, to get to your coil, just like any other tank, this base here is going to unscrew. It will slide out. This whole piece does come apart. Now I know there's a trick to go ahead and stick something, whatever, this is just what I grabbed, into here and hold down here and try to unscrew it. However, I've been trying to do it for about a half hour now and I have not been able to. So I'm sorry guys, but I will not be taking this completely apart. Just know it does come completely apart right here at the top of the outer barrel where it meets the chimney. That does unscrew. Now onto the coil here. On these coils, it'll say OBS between 25 and 45 watts. They recommend you use these. And it is an ICC 0.85 ohm coil. Now, I have used this coil, so it's not perfectly clean. And I don't know if you're going to be able to catch this. Let me try and zoom in a little bit here. See if it'll focus. Yeah, there you go. Now that, normally it's white, but it does have some juice residue left on it. That is all ceramic. There is no cotton in this coil, I believe. Now, there could be some inside these holes in between that metal wall and inside on the opposite side of that ceramic there. But this is the only ceramic coil I have, so I'm not going to take it apart. So the RBA section here, a little bit different than I've ever seen, and I don't know of anyone who does it like this. You're going to have these two posts side by side here, set up for a single coil. Your juice well is going to come in from either side. Now I haven't built on this yet, and I haven't used it, so I can't tell you how well it works. But it seems like it's very easy to build on. You just simply hold your coil this way across it. Positive and negative posts slide right in. Now when you wick it, you're just going to want to simply stick your wicking right down these side holes here. Don't stuff it though, just kind of let it lay in there. Alright, so that's the OBS Ace tank. We'll go ahead and jump back out. I'll tell you what I do, what I don't like, and where you can go ahead and grab one of these. Alright, we're back with you up top. That was the Ace Tank by OBS. Now, before I jump into pros and cons, I want to talk about one thing, and that's this top airflow. I don't know if you remember the Creus tank that OBS made. It did not have this step in this top airflow. Now, this is a ceramic coil. Ceramic, from what I've heard, or basically mainly is for flavor. Now, I'm getting great flavor off this tank. However, I'm not using this top airflow at all. And the reason being is, in my opinion, airflow on the top that goes in and straight up, that is in a tank like this, or even in a drip tip, does nothing to the flavor. Doesn't help the flavor at all. In my opinion, it takes away from the flavor. So, I've been using it with the bottom airflow wide open, top airflow shut down completely. This is the 0.85 ohm ceramic coil at 45 watts. We're topped out. Let me have a vape. This is my first ceramic coil. I've said it already, but the flavor is excellent off of these. So as far as pros and cons, let's go over pros. Now, you got two different versions. If you do like to build, you have the option to get the RBA deck with yours. You don't have to, but you have that option. I do like that. I do like to occasionally put in an RBA deck into a tank. This is all my preference, so that to me is going to be a pro. Also, you can use your own 510 drip tip. I haven't had a problem with any 510 drip tip that I do have. It's been fitting on there, not falling out. Been nice. The fill port on this, as like the Creus, is excellent. I like these fill ports, and one thing I wanted to show you is when it's all together and you do go ahead and open it, there is a stopper there. So you're not going to go ahead and pull that cap right off of there. You do have a nice big fill hole on here, enough to where if you fill one side, the other side is going to allow the air to go ahead and escape. That, in my opinion, this is probably my favorite top fill that they do have. Aside from something like the TFV4 where it just kind of swivels across. Another pro to me is it holds 4.5 milliliters of juice, and it is not a juice guzzler. Yeah, you're going to use your juice, but you're going to use it at a normal rate. It's not going to go ahead, you're going to fill it, and 5 hits later it's going to be empty. It's nothing like that. It's pretty reasonable when it goes to juice consumption. So as far as cons to me, this top airflow has got to be mentioned. It is subjective, but I would rather see them put an airflow on here that went in, down to the coil, and then up to your mouth to add flavor, especially on a ceramic coil. Also, another subjective con to me is the way this juice flow control is. Now, this juice flow control, you can go ahead and turn it clockwise all you want, and it's fairly tight. It's not going to move around on you. But if you want to go counterclockwise, the second you do that, you're going to be unscrewing your atomizer. So I guess just if you can mentally note to go clockwise with this when opening or closing the juice flow control, it's not even a con. Like I said, it's subjective. Other than that, I don't have any real quirks about this. I'm honestly loving it. I've been using it as my only tank for a few days now, and you know, at the price point right around $35, it is a steal in my opinion. A nice solid ceramic coil in this that you can pick up for $35. Now, you can go ahead and grab it from wetvapes.com, and I'll put a link in the description for you. I don't think they're available yet. Give it about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they'll be on that site right around the $35 price point range. And I gotta say, I recommend it to you guys. The flavor is outstanding on this thing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because it is my first tank with a ceramic coil, but I'm catching notes on juices that I know the flavor of that I've never had before. Excellent flavor. So yeah, guys, remember out there, vape together, stay together.